Hey everyone, my name is Scruffy. Today, I am presenting you the 4th guide for the Nerubar Palace raid in the War Within Season 1, Rasha'nan. For all people that don't know me, I am a guide writer for Path of Exile and World of Warcraft on your MMO. If you are interested in some more WoW guides, like our dungeon guides or class previews, make sure to check out my channel here on YouTube, and it would make me really happy if you would subscribe if you like these type of guides. There will always be seasonal guides for Path of Exile and World of Warcraft here on my channel, but you can also find more guides in written form on your MMO. Today, we're hopping into the Rasha'nan guide in normal and heroic difficulty. And without further ado, let's start with our Nerubar Palace raid guide. Rasha'nan has similar abilities as his dungeon version in the Dawnbreaker, which guide you can already find here on my YouTube channel. Let's start with the already known. Spinneret Strands creates a 10-yard circle around several players and spawns sticky web upon expiration. The affected players themselves are tethered to the middle of these webs, putting them slightly in and dealing damage while remaining inside. Breaking the link to the webs by moving out will explode with Spinneret's web snap for raid-wide damage, so you don't want to do it all at the same time. In Heroic, all players hit by the initial Spinneret Strands will be tethered to it, and having rolling acid rolling over these remaining webs will cause them to explode, dealing heavy damage to only players still inside that web and transforming it into another void zone, an acid pool. As in his dungeon version, rolling acid is an effect applied to 2 players this time. Upon expiration, it spawns a poisonous wave in a direction previously indicated by that effect on that side. Make sure to aim it away from players by either walking to the left or to the right of your party. Erosive Spray is a cast that deals heavy initial damage to all players and additional damage every 1 second for 4 seconds. This also sometimes applies lingering erosion on players that deal even more damage over the next 12 seconds. Frequently, Rasha'nan uses Caustic Hail, which creates many green swirls that deal damage to players struck within their 4-yard impact radius. Some of these swirls will also suddenly create acid pools to further annoy players. He will sometimes fly away, like in the Dawnbreaker, but at the rate he does it at 100 energy. He then flies to another location in the encounter area. When he lands, he starts casting Acidic Eruption, which increases in damage until players interrupt him. During that time, he is also immune to damage. So whenever he flies away, your group wants to make sure to stay close on his feet. And as per usual, if there's no player standing close to Rasha'nan, he uses Techie Burst to deal heavy damage until either players are dead or someone approaches the melee range. A few more abilities that were not in his dungeon version. Starting with Savage Assault. Rasha'nan uses Savage Assault to attack the current tank. This attack deals a lot of damage and also applies a stackable debuff called Savage Wound. All damage from Savage Assault that was not mitigated or suppressed by any cooldowns will be applied as a damage over time debuff, like a stagger effect. Tanks should taunt at a time they feel comfortable and run out of personal defenses. Frequently, several players will be affected by Infested Spawn. In Heroic, this marks these players with a green circle around them. As you can already guess, this will then deal damage to all players within that 5-yard circle upon expiration. Afterwards, this spawns an ad that attacks their current target with Infested Bite that leaves a periodic damage debuff, and then starts roaming around freely, attacking and biting everything around them. Make sure to gather these ads and crowd control them. And last ability is Web Reef. This ability only appears in Heroic mode. One player will be affected by Web Reef, dealing damage that has to be soaked by a large group of players. This ability does not apply a debuff afterwards, so all players can freely soak this. If it fails to strike at least 3 players, all players in your raid will suffer the full damage of Web Reef. Overall, a very similar boss to what it was in the Dawnbreaker. Just make sure to loot the boss for your gold and your crest.